Most people would probably be aware the paranormal activity knows no bounds when it comes to certain stories about video games. This story comes from an incident that never should have occurred. It was around early spring, when the weather was getting warm and the snow was all dried out. I was playing some old Nintendo 64 games, two of them in particular being GoldenEye 007 and Star Fox 64. When I was playing Star Fox, Slippy Toad was, of course, annoying the hell out of me for wanting me to destroy an enemy fighter that was on his tail. I was exhausted of doing the same routine over and over again, so instead I made pointless attempts to shoot him down. But this was odd, because I actually shot him and it hit through the glass of the cockpit. I then saw frog guts spilling out, and a very disturbing red substance that began to form into what looked like Gigas from Mother 3. The game then proceeded to give me an answer from Petty, who remained sitting there. Suddenly, his eyes began to bleed and soon, I only saw black sockets. I could hear the blood-curdling moans coming from him, as he attempted to tell me to do a barrel roll. This scared the hell out of me, but it only became worse. Falco came up and started hurling insults at me, as if Petty's death was my fault. My jaw dropped, and I proceeded to shout at the game to stop what it's doing. Then, Falco's eyes began to bleed and his stomach split open, revealing the internal organs that almost made me hurl. I immediately ripped out the game cartridge and smashed it with a hammer, and I sat down on the couch. I literally began to shed a few tears due to the gruesome result. Why did those characters suffer like that? What caused all this to happen? But most importantly, I then realized that I bought this game off of eBay, and the seller seemed a bit strange. About a half hour later, I emailed the person who sold me the Star Fox 64 cartridge, writing, "Hello, the Blood Killer. Recently, I ordered a Star Fox 64 cartridge and received it, but the game was messed up with a very disturbing scene that occurred while I was playing. What the hell is wrong with the game? Did you hack into it and replace some parts of the game with those bloody videos and images? If not, I am sorry to accuse you, but I must know where these came from. Secorgly 79 inches." I waited all day for a reply, because, when I ordered the item I received an email from him just 15 minutes later thanking me for purchasing his game. But no reply whatsoever, not even a quick note. I ate supper and decided to go to bed. Before I climbed in, I looked at myself in a mirror and my eyes were bloodshot. I was extremely stressed, and I knew that this incident couldn't drag on forever. Soon, I found myself sleeping and having a dream. In my dream, it was dark and stormy, and I was approaching a broken, ruined house. Apparently I was in a suburban territory in a place I didn't recognize, but I didn't want to disturb anyone in their homes. So I wandered into the house, and found most of the furniture tore up and ruined. One odd thing, however, was that I saw a statue of Slippy Toad from Star Fox 64 in the center of the dining room, as well as a small model of an Arwing. Lightning flashed, after I noticed, and both disappeared at that direct moment. I blinked, thinking that all of this was real, and decided to lie down on the couch. That's when I began to hear strange noises emanating from the upstairs bedrooms. I slowly descended the staircase, and I was seeing shadows that looked like Falco and Petty, so I raced up the stairs more quickly. I found the youngest member's bedroom and found a television on playing the same videos I saw when I was playing Star Fox earlier, and a sticky note on the television that only read this: "Run." At that moment, I was beginning to hear voices, whispering to me, as if they were coming out of the shadows, saying "Get out of here." They sounded just like the voices from Batman: Arkham Asylum. I then got the hint, as I raced down the stairs and briefly glanced into the dining room, as I ran, seeing those shadows of Petty and Falco and that statue of Slippy. Once I ran out of the house, however, the sky was red and I saw in front of me an executed Fox McCloud with Slippy, Petty, and Falco standing by his body. They were all missing eyes and holding large axes. Not only that, but the houses were all broken into, tons of dead bodies burning on the ground. Falco slowly approached me, saying, "This is all your fault." That's when I woke up sitting up straight with MP5 in my hand. I usually have that gun in my hand when I sleep, in case of something unexpected, glancing around my room nervously. It was morning, so I proceeded to get up and go to my television. I turned on the news and saw a broken home located in New Jersey that looked exactly like the one I saw in my dream. The name of the owner was Harold Winslow, but the news reporter said most people refer to him as the Blood Killer on eBay, where he formerly sold tons of old video games. Inside the house was a statue of a video game character that looks like a toad dressed up as a space pilot from Star Wars. I noticed too that on my coffee table was the Star Fox 64 cartridge, and it was repaired from the hammer smashes I gave it the other day. I looked at it and decided to send it to a distant country so I wouldn't have to see the bloody thing again. I now live in peace, along with the rest of my Nintendo 64 games, and I can only hope that no one stumbles across